Hey, everybody. We're going to be talking about wearable flower art today because I think wearable flower art transcends the boundaries of tradition, weaving nature's elegance into a living tapestry that kind of celebrates human expression and creativity. Today, we embark on a journey through the mesmerizing world of flowers with the extraordinary Brenna Robinson as the creative force behind Beckoning Blooms. Brenna's artistic fusion between sculpture and floristry has brought new dimensions to floral design. So whether it's men adorned with blooms, and we're going to definitely talk about today, is it's challenging gender norms, or it's luxurious arrangements touching the heart without pretension. Brenna's work is a symphony of nature and imagination. She's an advocate for social change and a loving mother. Her story is a blooming inspiration that resonates beyond petals and stems. So join us as we welcome the amazing Brenna Robinson, and it's just going to be a fun time. Let's just jump right into this. Ah, we are back. How are you doing today, Brenna?
I'm well. How are you?
We're having a day, aren't we?
We're having a day. We're having a day. Thank you so much for having me on this day.
On this day. Hey, who do you want to do a shout out to? Let's start that way. We'll get them happy.
Do it for my tiny human.
Your tiny human.
My tiny human, my daughter.
There you go. I love that. And I want to do something a little different today. I also want to do a shout out because I think our number one fan, Alice McAnally, it's her birthday today. And I just want to say, hey, Alice, thank you for following us. Happy birthday. And just have an amazing time with Caden and the rest of the family. Okay. Thank you, Alice, for following us and love you. Talk to you soon.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
as a matter of fact, one of these days we're going to get Alice on the show.
That'd be really
She,
fun.
it would be. She says no, but you know, we never know what might happen in the future, right?
We could flower all three of you.
There we go. So let's jump into it today. So let's talk about some flowers and take us back to the time that it was like your very first memory of flowers. Like,
Oh,
what was your childhood like with flowers and why flowers?
um, I grew up in Indonesia, and so the color and the rich texture plays a role in the art that I create now. But
Wow.
my great grandmother was a florist, and so I grew up enamored with my mom's wedding flowers. And it kind of was like the base foundation
Mm-hmm.
for this love. I was a ceramic and wire sculptor before, and this kind of was like this. It kind of translated over.
Okay. So what was it about your great grandmother's flower shop and that got you going? And then does it still influence you today?
I my mom recently sent me a photo of her in front of her shop.
Uh-huh.
It was like her third stage in life. And she started. I actually shop at one of the wholesalers that she used to shop at, which is really fun. But they just, in my kid mind, felt so grand and over the top.
Uh,
And it was just wonderful to go back and look through and like, your grandma made those for you. It just, I don't know. There's a part of it that makes me feel not only connected to nature, but to my family history as well.
I got you. So you have a background in what ceramics and in sculpture,
Yeah.
and okay. So how have those like artistic skills like kind of fused with your floral designs?
A lot of what I do, the mechanics at the bases require
Hmm.
a lot of, they're called armatures, and I use chicken wire as a base to build out, especially on my headpieces. So a lot of the same mechanics that I used to use and translate really well over.
Gotcha. You just had a little bloop there, so we're
Whoop.
just gonna pretend that didn't even happen. Oh gosh. So describe like what are the particular pieces that you're um that's your sculpture and your gift of like flowers, they come together in like perfect harmony. Like describe like one of those pieces.
Um, I used to do continuous line face wire sculptures.
Uh-huh.
And so it kind of has translated with the like headpieces and the wearable. They just kind of fused together. It
What is
was kind of like a
continuous line
natural
mean?
transition.
Yeah.
So I would create a like an outline of a face sculpt, like, and it's three-dimensional but will lay flat on a wall. And it's one piece of wire to create the entire thing.
Wow. It's you just bend it with your hand and with pliers and
Yeah,
stuff and make that?
I mean, my hands would be raw at the end of this. And I stopped doing them for a while, and I got back into it, and then at the same time, right around flowers, and it just kind of morphed. I wasn't
Gotcha.
doing wearable flowers from the get go. It's been in the last like 2 years. I really needed something that felt.
You started around 2014, right, with Beckoning Blooms?
I start what was We've had 3 name changes. I started as Brenna Designs,
Okay.
and then turned into Brenna Florals, and then got divorced, and we are Beckoning Blooms, and it will stay Beckoning Blooms.
Oh my good. Did your style change over all those different like name changes and everything?
I think it's evolved. It's still definitely me. I love rich, lush blooms and texture, but I try each year to push myself with a new type of flower that I haven't worked with in the past or kind of have shied away from, and a new color palette.
Gotcha. You know what? I want to actually show people what you do because we're talking about flowers, but they don't understand that they are just absolutely gorgeous like this. What is this
Thank
piece right
you.
here?
This is a headpiece, and then a flower tattoo, and then floral earrings.
And like these are real flowers, and
These
you
are
have to,
all real flowers.
where do you source them from? Like, where do you get like these? Like, I've never in my entire life seen a rose like this pink one over here, where it
Oh,
just
the
opens up and
pink
it's beautiful.
O'Hara. We had those at our wedding. My husband, they're his favorite flower, and they smell divine.
Oh my God.
I am really fortunate that we have a really large flower market here in Portland, but
Mhm.
I will source from wherever because I travel for work. I'll source from whatever local market I can, and then I will ship in farm direct. But right now
Really?
in right now in August is the best. All our local growers have just incredible crops, so it's nice to support local whenever I can.
How much does that headpiece weigh?
That was about 20 pounds. It was substantial.
Okay. So you've got to build up some muscles to where and the
It's
earrings
not
too, you do a
practical.
lot.
Oh, sorry.
It's not practical, but it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Let's look at some more. Tell us about this piece.
I really loved creating this. So this umbrella was created for Amber, and I really wanted to showcase. There are plenty of models that you see in the industry that are able-bodied,
Mhm.
and they're usually white and thin and pretty, and there's a very set aesthetic. And I don't remember the last time I saw a model in a wheelchair or with a cane. And Amber requires both. She's an ambulatory wheelchair user. And
Okay.
it really pushed back against a lot of the social norms that we've come to know because people got really angry when we shared and posted this. And they're like, no, no one who needs a wheelchair would wear shoes like that. Or you're objectifying. It was really interesting to see just how deeply rooted our perception of what a disabled person or what an able-bodied person looks like.
You know, it just blows me away that somehow people find controversy in flowers.
It, it, it makes me laugh pretty frequently how just enraged some people get in the comments
Yeah.
um, of my Instagram posts. They're flowers.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah, I made a reel with Amber's shoot, and it said, "Everybody deserves flowers," and people are like, "Who said they didn't?" It's like, oh, it's more of okay. I might need a drink to dissect all of the layers of this one.
I'm gonna show a couple more, and then we're gonna talk about men wearing flowers because that blows me away. But
That's my favorite.
yeah, this right here, the piece on the left, we are putting this whole piece together right here with the dress and the headpiece.
Yes, that is actually former WNBA star Kim Hampton,
Okay,
and
Kim
she
Hampton.
is fantastic human being and a friend, and I feel really lucky to have her in my life. And this is 60th birthday.
Uh-huh.
We did this living flower dress, and she rocked it.
Can you like other than like the runways, because you just did Paris, um,
London.
London,
Yeah.
you just did London. What can you wear this around? Like if you were going to go to dinner, can you wear this to dinner and people are like, "Oh my God, look at
I
this."
wouldn't recommend it. It's
Okay.
beautiful. I would not want to sit in them at all.
Okay.
This is much more practical, or like it's much more beauty than practical.
And it is beautiful. I,
If you
I,
want to go, yeah.
yeah, I love these. What about the cotton candy? That is so
Cotton
fun.
candy is just a headpiece for just showing options. Like it's not going to be practical for an everyday wedding,
Hmm.
but for somebody who's like, you know what, we're doing an elopement or we're doing a really, really intimate event, and I'm not going to be wearing it for an 8-hour day, but I want something where I'm not carrying a traditional bouquet. A headpiece is perfect.
That's beautiful. And now we're starting to get into controversy here.
We are dancing the line.
I love all of these. Whoever's doing your photography is amazing. So this is good stuff.
The Queen Mojo, who was one of my favorite models from London Fashion Week, has got the headpiece on the left and the white dress, and
Hmm.
but that photo was Ed Grover, and the middle one is Shuttergram Portraits, who I love and work with so often, and then the one on the right is Karina, and she was my wedding photographer. Round
Ah,
two.
nice. So let's talk again. I still cannot believe that there is controversy around flowers. And the picture in the middle, I just love. I wear baseball caps, but this hat right here could get me to wear something different.
Ooh, I will
And
happily flower you in a hat like that.
I know, right? Now let's talk about these right here. You get actual hate on your Instagram because of some of these pictures. What is up with that? How does that even happen?
I don't know, the tie in particular right now seems to be the hot one I'm getting the most negative comments on. It depends week to week, but that one's consistently the last couple. That people are just like, it's not practical, it's ridiculous. I'm like, well, art, no, art isn't meant to be that. It's to create conversation and make you think outside the norms of what you would consider a tie to be.
Yeah.
Or men forever have just been given a boutonniere. Great, done. And it's expanded to this like floral pocket square, which like, well, that's great. But what if you're a woman wearing a suit? Or what if you identify as a man and you love flowers? You should,
Mhm.
what, your choices are a bouquet or. So the pocket squares have evolved to the lapels and the ties, and I've been really loving kind of pushing the limits of like, hey, what can we do next? Where can we incorporate art into these beautiful big life celebrations that every gender deserves flowers, not just a bride?
The one in the middle, I would totally rock. I love this piece. Now the problem is, of course, I'm in Texas and it's 108 degrees out, and we don't have flowers like this right now. Um,
You would be surprised. These hold really well. That tie is mostly succulents and air plants,
okay,
and
so
they hold.
would you ever? This is probably blasphemy, but if people liked this and they said, "Oh my gosh, I've got an order for 50 of these," would you ever consider doing them in a what not plastic, but whatever it is that you just silk and whatever to make these
Yeah,
wear
I
them?
have a couple orders for the like silk lapels,
Uh-huh.
and I don't really have an issue with silks like most people do. They can be, because you're reusing them, a little more environmentally friendly than traditional flowers, especially ones that are imported in. They're wrapped in so much plastic and packaging and the
Hmm.
emissions that are used to get them here versus, okay, yes, they're plastic, but they're used multiple times over.
Gotcha. When you went to the fashion show, did you take flowers with you or did you source locally?
Everything was sourced locally.
How do you do that? Did you have to arrive early to be able to source them or what?
Oh, it was a wild experience. I had an assistant, shout out to Paige Elliott. She's amazing. She went a day early, and I'm ordering flowers with her from
Uh-huh.
30,000 feet in the air. So she's at the New Covenant Flower Garden, flower market. And she's like, "Do you like this? Do you like this?" I'm like, "Okay, get this, this, and this." And then she had
Yeah.
to fit it in a cab and get it back to the Airbnb.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it I try to always source locally wherever I'm at.
Mhm.
And then with London, I couldn't take anything in. Trying to smuggle like pre-greened lapels would have been no, officer. I'm not bringing in outside product.
No, no, not that. So, do you sew the flowers together? Is there like special stitching stuff that you have to buy, or?
I use Oasis cold glue. It's a flower glue, and I've tried every different type of flower adhesive, and
Mhm.
Oasis is my tried and true.
There you go.
We went on a journey to make sure we got it. They're located in England, which was really lucky, but it took like 2 trains and I think a cab and a long walk for Paige to go pick up the 2 boxes of glue that I had ordered ahead of time.
So, shout out to Paige.
Shout out to Paige. She is a rock star.
Oh, that now let's keep talking about this controversy thing because I still don't get it. But
I don't either.
you also support Black Lives Matter. You
I
support
do.
LGBTQ rights. You are like in the thick of all the things that people want to just complain about.
Isn't that
Why?
amazing that just getting to exist as yourself is something that people get angry about?
Yes.
It's
It,
it's it's really it's really wild to me when people decide that it's okay and when it's not and when they're going to give the hate. I got on the wrong side of Instagram apparently with the comments. Because it wasn't there when I protested in 2020 and Portland was crazy and we were tear gassed and
mhm.
I got shot with a ricochet flash grenade. But sharing all of those stories, there wasn't hate. But then you push the boundary a little more and it's men deserving flowers and outrage and a lot of comments about, well, the day's for the bride. Well, what if the day doesn't have a bride? What
Mhm.
what does that look like then?
So when men wear the flowers, do they receive the hate themselves also?
I have not noticed that. When I post and share it.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not sure if I mean I don't think on their wedding days they're getting hate because the people they're surrounding themselves with love them and support them and they're here. And in person, everybody seems very excited. But the internet, you can hide behind a keyboard and just spew whatever impulsive thought comes to your mind.
So I'm not going to guess, even though I think I have an idea, but
I know
who,
where you're going.
which group of people are the ones spewing the most hate?
Ah, that would be middle-aged white women.
Dang it, I thought it was going to be some. No, that was who I guessed.
It's funny, I went in my blocked list on Instagram last week and I was
Mhm.
looking through just like doing a once over and it comes with like a list of suggested people to block and all of them were middle-aged white women and I don't know any of them, but it was just interesting. It was like based on the accounts that you have blocked, here are some suggested ones.
Gotcha. Here, and by the way, just for people who popped in late, I'm just going to show this again because they are
Mhm.
just beautiful. These are the ones that you have for men,
Yep.
um, and I
Or women
or
or
women who,
non-binary who want to wear suits.
yeah, doesn't matter. I just want to show these again so people who have not seen them can actually experience the love. Yeah,
I
and
love lush and I love over the top and flowers. I love getting to connect humans with nature in a way that we don't often get to when we're stuck inside and
mhm,
behind a screen.
yeah, these are just amazing if you ask me.
Thank
So
you.
what do you want people to know? Like when we post this someplace and everyone's watching it and they rush to the end so they can say, "What did she say?" What do you want people to really know about you and about flowers and about this messed up world that we've got?
I feel like flowers and beauty are one of the ways that anchor us to our humanity.
Okay.
and that everybody is deserving of beauty, and flowers are for everybody and everybody.
I love the what's the right word there? Everybody and everybody. I love that.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's your tagline. It should be.
It should be. I started when I went to London. I did Fat Florist Takes London.
Uh,
And I did it intentionally because I'm like, okay, we're gonna like let's push the limits here. Let's really talk about what we perceive like beauty as,
yeah,
because it goes beyond race and gender. It's also size.
okay. Let's do something here. I want to learn more about you. I love your business. I love the flowers. I want to jump into like who are you? We're gonna play a game of
Okay.
this or that. I'm gonna give
Okay.
you a couple of choices. You can choose one or the other, but not neither or both. And let's learn some more about Brenna.
Okay.
We'll start easy and maybe they'll get harder, or
Okay.
maybe they'll just stay easy.
Okay.
Okay. Roses or orchids?
Oh, right now, orchids.
Okay. About wedding bouquet or uh, fashion showpieces? Which one
Fashion
excites
show
you more?
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, what's your go-to medium for art? Fresh blooms or dried flowers?
Fresh.
Fresh blooms for sure, because you got your assistant out there running all over Europe finding them for you. Where do flowers shine best? Outdoor wedding or indoor wedding?
Oh, depends on the season. Well, right now,
Hmm.
indoor.
Okay,
August, indoor.
gotcha. Portland makes you go inside. Or-
I feel like everywhere makes you go inside right now.
yeah, well, if you're in Texas, we're inside.
Yeah.
Which season inspires you to work more, spring or autumn?
Oh, spring.
Spring. What do you like about spring?
The local blooms are out of this world, and Earth is coming alive again. And it just is this renewed sense of hope
Mm.
that sometimes can dissipate, especially in the cloudy Pacific Northwest
Okay.
after a long winter.
So would you say your arrangements are traditional or are they more avant-garde creations?
They're not traditional at all.
Okay, they're just really out there because of the way that people wear them and that kind of thing?
Yeah, and also my regular designs are much more lush and bloom heavy than kind of the style that's current.
Okay,
I use a lot of greenery. I go big.
okay, gotcha. What resonates with you more, creating for joyful occasions or somber moments?
Oh, both have their importance. Right now,
Mhm.
joyful.
Okay, I'm on board with joyful day. I need some joy. What fuels your creativity, working alone or collaborating with others?
I alone. I do my best stuff with a podcast in my headphones or alone on the road and all the ideas that come to me. So alone,
Okay.
yeah.
What about teaching floral art or being a lifelong student?
Ooh, lifelong student.
Yeah, get out there and do some more stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What's more challenging, artistic freedom or client expectations?
Client expectation. See, most of my clients give me freedom, so
Okay.
expectations, I would say. But
When you have
I don't book ones that don't trust.
okay, okay. When you actually get a new client, do they come in, they go, I've seen your stuff before and I'm looking for this, that, or the other, or they come in and say, I want flowers, give me something.
I would say it's 80% of I've seen your work and
Uh-huh.
about 20 of I want flowers, give me some. And I'll educate them. I do something different, and some people say it's bad business. I book on personality and connection.
Okay.
I don't just want your money. I want it to be a good fit because everybody ends up happy with the end result. I
Yeah.
want you to be so excited for your florals on your wedding day that aside from marrying your person, it's what you're looking forward to the most.
There you go. So, which boundary do you enjoy pushing more, like wearable flower art for men or women?
I feel like it's a lot more socially acceptable to push boundaries with wearable art for women, and I want to pave a new path for wearable
Yeah,
flowers for men.
gotcha. By the way, do you ever use Yeah, I know you said you source everything locally, but do you ever use exotics? Like
Yes.
import them?
Yeah. I mean, orchids, we have a local grower, but there are, I import whenever I need to. Obviously, local is the preference, but if I need to
Okay,
make something happen, I make it happen.
got you. What drives you more, social impact through art or business success?
Social impact through art.
There you go. I like that. Um, what's more important to you, flowers for beauty or flowers for social statements?
Flowers for beauty.
Okay. Where do you see yourself? Um, creating timeless pieces or trend-setting designs?
Oh, can't they be the same? Um,
They could. You can explain it.
I would love for trend-setting pieces, like specifically around flowers for men and flowers for people who aren't able-bodied to be uh, to be timeless. I would
Yeah,
love for that to be so accepted that it's just beauty as we've always known beauty.
yeah. I love that. What speaks more to you in your art, nature's fragility or nature's strength?
Nature's strength.
Yeah. What's your ultimate goal? Connecting people or challenging norms?
Oh, aren't they one and the same?
They can be, right?
I, for me, I feel like it can be both because when I connect people, I know I'm not supposed to have a both. When I'm the worst person for this.
No, you're actually doing really good. Some people just like have to choose both every time.
When I connect people with beauty, I feel like and transcend those social norms.
Okay. I got a couple more for you. Which is more complex, balancing motherhood with entrepreneurship or balancing art with activism?
Mm, the first one.
Balancing motherhood with entrepreneurship.
It is the biggest challenge in my life because I want to be able to show up fully for both, but that's just not simply the reality. And there are times where I have to push with work and pull back with motherhood and push with motherhood and pull back. And that fine dance and balance
Yeah.
is really hard. But the biggest thing I've done is incorporate her into my work and explain what I'm doing. When she was little, she was on a pack on my back,
Uh-huh.
and they know her by name at the flower market, and she'd wake up early with me, and it's just it's a dance.
Well, you're doing the dance really well, so
But you know what? I think we'll
um,
see when she's older.
yeah.
Only time will tell. I hope so.
I got two more for you. What guides your philosophy? Preservation of nature or transformation of tradition?
Ooh, transformation of tradition.
Yeah. Last one. Um, what does wearable floral art mean to you? Is it art as therapy or art as revolution?
Mm, art of therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
I we've come so far away from this like we're part of this earth and we have removed this connection that we have to it with houses, with screens, with all of these things that just make us more indoor dwelling humans.
Hmm.
But flowers, especially when you have them on you, there's this level of, I don't know, I watch it when I put them on and the wearer just kind of like, there's this like ease and calmness and it anchors us back to this place where we used to be
Uh-huh.
at our core. And I love that. I don't think you can be outside too much. And when you get to bring the outside inside, so to speak, I think it's really healing. I think it's the same as having plants in your home. When you get
Yes.
to wear them, you're just even more close to nature and where we came from.
Gotcha. Random question here. Are you into earthing also or
I
grounding?
am
Ah,
grounding, yes. I will do that on really stressful weddings. I've actually started to teach. I've got a couple florists I mentor. And anytime they're like, I'm so stressed, I'm super anxious, I'm like, okay, go ground yourself. Like, remember why we are doing this. It worked,
mhm.
I sound very hippie with that, but it's it's really powerful.
You know, I live in the city and there's concrete, and literally I'm looking for places like where can you even go and take your shoes off and walk around, right? And there's like nowhere.
There
There's
really
artificial grass, there's cement, there's tar, asphalt, whatever that is.
we really need it. I don't make my daughter wear I mean, there's certain time from like we're in a grocery store, you need to wear shoes, but
Mhm.
she's been barefoot most of her life, and like school she obviously has to wear them, but anytime she's on the playground she takes her shoes off. And I think it's really important that we get back to a place where like we have that connection to the outdoors.
I love that. I love that. And the fact that you're working with the flowers and you're into the grounding and just
I'm
getting
into
people to be reasonable again.
oh, I feel like flowers are a great kind of bridge for that. And I hope with every mean comment, there are certain ones that I just delete, like, but I try to not let them go unchecked, and I try to respond in a way of like, hey, let's look at this. Why do you think that those are just for women? And I hope that it can get us back to a place. I mean, it's a tiny sliver of the internet, but of just excuse me, taking a deep breath of like, oh, we're just to like what we like.
Yeah. I want people to stay in touch with you. Let's give them a way to do that. So you got your website is beckoningblooms.com. For everyone that's listening, that's BECK Beckoning, ING, Blooms, BLOOMS.com. And then you've got your Facebook, which is also Beckoning Blooms. And your Instagram is also Beckoning Blooms. So no excuse for people not being able to find you. If they remember Beckoning Blooms, there you are.
BB,
BB. I love that. Thank you so much for being on. This has
thank you
been
for having
awesome.
me. I wish it was longer. I could talk with you forever.
Wow, let's just do that. When we start doing the after parties and shows, we'll definitely have you on for one of the longer conversations then.
I am here for that. And I'm here for flowering you if you're ever on the West Coast or if I'm doing work wherever in the world you are.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. And
No
everybody
problem.
else, we'll see you on the next show.
Thank
We
you.
out.